Good afternoon, Jan. Paul here. So here we have a Hydromite, and we are very close to being finished. We're at the dollars we predicted. Actually, we're $100 more than the dollar we predicted, and we're not quite done. And let me show you why. So we have the engine already. We modified a piece that was on the outboard that wasn't on yours at all. This advances the throttle and advances the ignition timing simultaneously. The faster you go, the sooner you're supposed to have your spark for each revolution. So before, had we worked on the old engine, it would have run okay at idle, or we could have set the ignition time where it ran okay at high speed, but it would not run. If we set it for where it runs good at high speed, it'd be harder than heck to keep it running at idle. If we set it where it runs well at idle, it would run really bad at high speeds. So now we've got this linkage fixed. We're going to put a push-pull throttle in. So here's the cable, and here's the cable, and all the fittings and so forth are in here. And then we can put a T-handle on it, or we can put this little mushroom handle on it, either one. We're going to put it in the dash over on the right-hand side. So you'll have your pull cord right here for starting the engine. You'll have your choke right here. We're doing away with this. We don't believe this to be original anyway, and we couldn't find parts for this. It's an old bicycle. It's a bicycle brake is what it is, brake handle. And the spring, as you can see, this doesn't spring back, so we have to have positive control, push-pull, so we're going to do that. For safety, this thing never really had a safety on it. For the safety of your grandkids, we're putting on a kill switch. So this kill switch has a lanyard that attaches to, say, the swimsuit or the life jacket, and then this will go in the dash, and when this kill switch gets pulled, this piece comes off the switch opens, and then the engine will die. So that'll protect your kids from or grandkids from harm. Let's see. So all that went really well. We've got the fiberglass repair. All these spots up here. We have all these light spots. You're actually seeing daylight because there is no pigment in the fiberglass and the epoxy resins that we used here, but all those spots are fixed, that spot, and then we added more epoxy resin to the previous repairs. As you recall, one of the things that was kind of an afterthought in the earlier video was that the rudder was locked in a position, and this is your old rudder assembly, and we beat and banged and lubricated and twisted, and we were actually, if we pulled any harder or beat any harder, we were going to beat the bottom out of your boat. So we, after messing with this, trying to get it to go for an hour and a half or so, we said, screw it, we're just going to take it out and build a new one. So what you're looking at is a new one. This is your new plate. This is your new rudder post, and it has a Teflon liner in it now. This is the old. This is the old shaft, and this is part of the old rudder post, and the other part of the old rudder post is missing. We had to just grind it off, and the shaft still won't turn in this small amount of rudder post that's remaining. The shaft still won't turn. So that took us a day, or pretty close to a day, not quite a day, but took us pretty close to a day. And of course, we got a lot of material, some materials in it. I'm not even sure I've charged for the materials yet. But at any rate, I think we charged you for the Teflon liner. The other pieces are kind of scraps from our tank operation. So now we have an operating rudder. See, I can't do a picture of the rudder. Yeah, I can. There's your rudder, and here's how it steers. So So bottom line, with that surprise, we're at about $3,000. I think it's $3,200. I'll have to send the invoice here shortly, but I think it's $3,200. I am going to send you then a good, better, best on the paint job. We can stop now. The only thing we got left to do the original scope is mount our throttle cable. Go ahead and mount the motor. Mount the bottom of the motor to the bottom of the boat, and all the original scope is complete. With the finishing job, we still haven't put. We got to put some skegs down here, some ski skegs. They're off of water skis, because we do know this thing's kind of unstable. Once you get it up on high speed and you slow it down suddenly, and the back end wants to run around the front end, so that's not good. So we'll put the skegs on as part of the painting process, because we're going to have it upside down again. Matter of fact, we probably won't, well, not probably, but we won't assemble this until we hear from you about painting it, because we got to paint the bottom. We're going to turn it upside down. We paint the bottom. We won't assemble it first. We'll assemble it after we get all that done. So anyway, I'll give you your good, better, best, which include the skegs. And then, like I say, we're about a half a day, which is $300 away from being totally complete with the original scope. So with that, I'll sign off, and feel free to call me, ask any questions, and voice any concerns, and I'll be sending the invoice along as well. So there is a little more progress to pay on that, depending on where you want to end up. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.